Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I have been up to, and highlight a hopefully helpful add-on. This week, Blizzard announced a new Collector's Bounty buff. We'd heard a little bit of this in the pipeline, but we have an official announcement. It runs from July the 1st through the 29th, and what this is a big boost to the drop rate of some rare stuff. So a 10 times, and apparently sometimes up to 25 times boosted drop rate on all pre-Dragonflight mounts, as well as a list of other items including the Sunwell Legendary Bow and Bindings of the Windseeker. Doesn't specify which things are 10 times the drop rate and which things are 25 times the drop rate, but might become clear once the event actually starts. And then on top of that, the general amount of transmog loot is going to be doubled as well. So you'll be getting twice as much gear from running dungeons and from running raids, and then like a really good chance, comparatively speaking, at all of the mounts from that content. This does not apply to time walking, it does not apply to pets, and it does not apply to toys, but it should be a lot of fun if there's anything that you've been wanting to collect. Like Invincible, or Ashes of Alar, or, you know, like the Nyalotha mount. Like this goes all the way up to everything before Dragonflight, so there's plenty of stuff in there. Speaking of that, the decision to include, quote, all pre-Dragonflight mounts seems like a big net. There is tons of dungeon and raid drop mounts there, of course, but also are we talking about world boss mounts and rares? And by that I mean, are we talking soundless? Like that would be a pretty big deal. Hi. Am I making too much noise, Hansel? Anyways, I'm super excited about this. At first I kind of thought, oh, well, I have everything. And then I thought, well, I don't have those legendaries. And then I thought, up to Dragonflight, I don't have all kinds of stuff. There's mounts from BFA. There's mounts from Shadowlands would be included. That happened before Dragonflight. Time's just running together. Blizzard just said, like, forget July, forget summer, forget outside, forget the beach. There's mounts to farm. Also, part of that same news post from Blizzard, there is another Treasure Goblin event coming back. So if you remember when Diablo 4 was coming out and they had like a promotional event where there were portals spawning in the capital cities, goblins would come out and then you would kill them and you would get stuff. It's basically that again, except that they're not, as far as I can tell, selling Diablo this time. I'm sure you can still buy it, but it's not new anymore. The event also runs from July the 1st through the 29th, and there will be portals spawning in major cities every hour on the hour, as well as a bunch of other types of portals that can happen. So at quarter past the hour, they're talking about Portal Storm, spawning an extra 5 portals with extra goblins. There will be some kind of affix system with the goblins. They listed out like all of the affixes and what they do and the fact that you can add more. They didn't list out why you would add an affix unless I've totally missed it. Maybe it means more loot or something like that. I guess it means more goblins, which might mean more loot. Supposedly the affixes will make the goblins harder, but given that it's like a mass loot pinata public event, I am skeptical about how hard they're really going to make this, because if they make them too hard and these treasure goblins just start like annihilating cities, there's going to be a lot of complaining and then there's going to be a lot of hotfixing. So we'll see. Along with those portals, extra goblins can also spawn in Undermine after killing rares sometimes, or the Liberation of Undermine raid after killing bosses. Tons of goblins, tons of portals. You'll be getting lots of currency. They've got a currency called Hellstone Shards here, and there will be new cosmetics to buy with those, as well as it sounds like some direct drops from the goblins themselves. We'll have to see the event to get the actual layout of it. But there will be recolored tier 2 sets. Here's the example they gave of the Paladin set. Looks pretty neat. Fear not, Evokers and Demon Hunters, they also have a set available for you too. And then they previewed this new Inarius Charger mount, which looks very much like the Tyrael's Charger that we had. Lots of stuff to get, should also be fun. I do feel like there's going to be a lot to do in July, because the Venn diagram of people that want to collect transmog from the Treasure Goblin thing, and people that want to collect transmog and mounts from the Collector's Buff thing is going to be pretty much a circle. So I guess it's just going to be busy. I know they want to keep people occupied until Ghosts of Koresh can come out, and they're apparently taking that duty very seriously. Speaking of mounts and collections in July, they have previewed the July trading post. We now have an idea of what's coming, and it is Forsaken themed. So there are lots of Fill the Bar rewards this time. They've got a Cauldron back piece, a whole transmog set, and a mount that you can get as bonus rewards for filling the bar. That's great. Love that. Love it whenever I don't have to spend tender on something. And then there will be purple versions of those things on the vendor separately, along with some other Forsaken themed items. The trading post isn't usually that hard to get caught up with, but regardless, there will be plenty of collecting to do in July. It's making me want to take any end of season goals that I have for season 2 very seriously and try to get them done like now in June so that I can spend all of July kind of working on these 3 things. The main one that I'm still working on is triple threat. I'm nearly done the damage dealing portion of it and I'm done the healing portion of it, but tanking 10 keys, I think I'm just going to have to get brave. I think I'm just going to have to dive in there and try. Just deplete some keys, just burn them up. And then other news this week, Blizzard is going to be at Gamescom August 20th through 24th, announcing midnight more or less. They've announced that they will be there and there should be a proper expansion announcement. So I'm expecting feature previews, I'm expecting interviews, basically all the stuff that you would get out of an expansion announcement at BlizzCon. This is not the first time they've dropped an expansion announcement at Gamescom. I believe they also did it for Legion way back in 2000 and forever ago. So that should be good. Nice to have something to mark on the calendar and look forward to. With all the stuff going on in the current patch, and then in 11.2, it's kind of hard to remember that there's also going to be a whole nother expansion and like player housing and stuff coming too. Just doesn't stop. And then as far as what I've been up to, I have hopefully been raid testing. As of recording this video, we've had 1 day of raid testing and it did not happen. Everybody tried to log in and then the servers like rolled over and gave up and waited for death. Hopefully Friday goes better and then they'll have to reschedule the bosses they initially wanted to test. It's fine. It happens in PTR raid testing, but it's funny because they made a big deal about, oh man, we have to condense raid testing. We only have these 2 days to do it. It's going to be hard with holidays. Let's just get in and get it done, guys. And then the servers immediately went, nope. We did not agree to this. Hang on, my dog's being really cute. I have to show you. This is very important. He's looking at me like, can you stop talking? I'm trying to nap over here. Oh, bud. And then for our add-on spotlight this week, I want to show you, for all of our mount collecting coming up, Mount Journal Enhanced, in case you haven't seen it. This is going to add a bunch of extra functionality to your mount journal. So some features that I like filtering my mounts by animal type. For example, maybe I want to see what kind of bat mounts I have to go with all of this Forsaken themed MOG we're about to get. I can do that. Sometimes it's fun to just kind of like look through all of the different animals that mounts could be and then remember that some of them exist. You can also filter your mounts by a color. You can literally pick a color on a color wheel and it will do its best to show you mounts that include that color or similar to it. This is not a perfect feature, but I find it really useful for brainstorming mounts to ride that would match a transmog that I've put together. Mount Journal Enhance can also give you a general idea of the rarity of a mount in the mount page. It'll have this number here that shows you what percentage of WoW players have that mount. It doesn't get updated like every day or anything like that, but it's a good ballpark. And it will also color code your mounts by their rarity, and you can even sort them by rarity if you like. So if you want to ride around on the rarest mount that you currently have collected, it makes it very easy to do so. And then you'll notice that instead of just one mount count number, it has account-wide and character-specific mount counts. This confused me a lot at first because I thought, why are there 4 numbers? But the first number is how many you have, and the second is the maximum possible. So I have this many mounts that I can use on this character out of this many possible mounts that I could use in this character. And then the same thing for your account, how many account mounts you have collected on your account versus how many you could. This number right here is the one that I like to reference if somebody asks me how many mounts I have. And hopefully after this upcoming collecting event, it's going to be a lot more. And that has been the week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or you want to drop by and say hi, I stream from 9 in the morning to noon Pacific time, Wednesdays through Sundays. I appreciate your company. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.